think that, Black Fingernails, Red Wine was, really like where that album itself was kind of where the band was probably most on the same page of exactly what our vision was to make a record.
Black fingernails, red wine, I wanna make you all mine. A lot of people.
That was from the very start. We had this idea of making a dark record that could fill a stadium as such, and work in big spaces and be very widescreen and quite obviously influenced by music that we grew up listening to, like bands like, say, In Excess or Icehouse or the Eurythmics, referencing those kind of things. And so when we came in to actually write and demo that record, it seemed like the easiest record to make, and it was kind of like every week we'd write one song and we'd get to the end of that week and we're like, this fits in perfectly. We're not arguing about what we're doing. Everyone has their sort of superpower or whatever in the band, and we were really focused in at each of us doing that one thing, I guess.
And we'd set that sort of that schedule for ourselves where it was just a song a week. It was like, let's just smash out a killer song a week, and we'd get in we had our own
killer song.
Yeah, that was our mentality,
Smash out a bit of genius.
Exactly. But that's the optimist.
Yes.
I was super confident.
But we had our own carpeted room, which was great.
We did. By this stage, we'd created our own carpeted room.
We had the seriously mediocre bucks to afford that.
Yeah. And then the sound of music, the aesthetic of music, and the band coming off the record before, which had sort of crossed over a little bit to commercial radio and stuff like that. Everything, it was like a perfect storm for us in Australia, where it was the right song, right time, right album. All of that sort of happened at once, and I don't know if you can plan for that. You can't long-term plan for that, but luckily it happened.
There was definitely like the impetus, like we had this kind of like want and need. Like we'd been to the ARIAs the year before, and we'd been up for 8 ARIA awards, and we pretty much lost every one of them to Jet, who'd had a smash international hit with Are You Gonna Be My Girl, and that had been on like an iPod ad and everything. So every time we were sitting there going, and the winner is, it was like
not
Jet,
us,
Jet, and we'd be like, damn it. And we'd gone.
They said the winner is Jet, but all we heard was the winner is not ESKIMO.
And we'd gone to these ARIAs and we were like, what do you wear to an ARIA award? So we'd all bought suits, and we basically rocked up to the ARIAs looking like a bunch of dorks on their way to a school ball. And Jet didn't look like dorks. They had like leather jackets, their hair was out, they looked like cool dudes. Yeah. And so I think the penny dropped a little bit that, A Song as a City was all about being the boys next door and writing about our stories in Fremantle. It's like we were ready to kind of step out of that and create this kind of maybe like a character. And I think I came home from that and I was like, okay, we need to be rock stars. What do rock stars look like? So like I got myself a black leather jacket, I painted my fingernails black, I dyed my hair black, and I was like, okay, cool. All right, what kind of songs was a rock star write? And I'd started to write some songs, and one of them was Sarah. And generally, if I'm writing songs, I like to take them into like a pub and just play them through acoustically. So by the time I step in front of a microphone, they feel sung in, like I've actually sung the songs. I was at the Rosemount Hotel in Perth, and I think I was supporting End of Fashion, and I played Sarah, and I got off stage and I was looking around, and there was all the cool cats doing their things, and I needed to do a wee. So I went to the toilet, and I had my glass of red wine, and I put it up on the the top of the toilet, and I obviously had to look where I was weeing, otherwise it could have got messy. And so I just started to make up a little song while I was there. I was like, black fingernails, red wine, I want to make you all mine. Anyway, I was like, that's a silly idea. About the next day, I was like, yeah, that's still going around my head. And so, I picked up the acoustic and started to muck around, and I got to a point where I was like, it was feeling pretty good. And I think at that point in time, I rang Joel and said, oh, can you come over? And I've got this idea. So we went into the carpeted jam room, and he was like, cool. And I think we started to workshop the second verse, and then Stu came over, and by the end of that day, we had all the kind of key elements of the song. We had the guitar, the piano, and the kind of kick drum and most of the lyrics. And then I think we turned that into a bigger demo, and then took that into the studio, and as they say, the rest is history.
Yeah, it's funny. Like people always ask. Oh well, don't always ask. But on some occasions, some people are.
Everybody I've ever met has asked.
You know, sometimes you get asked if you write a song that's become a big song. Do you know at that moment that it's going to be a big song? And that it's kind of rare, I think. But I think with that song, when we did the demo, we knew that this song was going to be like an important song for us. And I remember Matt Lovell, who was engineering that record when we were recording it properly, saying, "Oh, I think this song's going to actually change your life a little bit," kind of thing. So that was was definitely a thing. Yeah.